everyone. Welcome to Decaf Brewing Live Season 3 and I am coming live from Decaf Coffee Republic. We are live. Brewing Live is a community service of Decaf Coffee Republic and our heart is to fill your digital cup with great stuff that matter as we ignite your space with opportunities for impact, income, and influence so that you can experience transformation in different areas of your life through the platform of life coaching. Decaf Coffee Republic is the coaching hub and the house of certified life coaches here in the Philippines. And tomorrow we are celebrating our 3rd year anniversary as a community. But today we are celebrating the 4th year anniversary of our coaching hub. So thank you everyone for joining me live. Okay, for this episode, today is November 24, 2020. For our coaching services, do not hesitate to get in touch with Coach Rizal, 0917-586-1661. Our coaching hub is open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and we continue to serve 24/7. It means that 24/7, 24 hours every single day, we still provide you with coaching services. But right after 9 p.m., you can just get in touch with Coach Rizal through the mobile number. Once again, 0917-586-1661. If you are joining me on the space right now, I can see Coach Trisha, okay, all the way from Region 5. My current at merong internet si Coach Trisha ngayon. Hello? Okay, Coach Heidi, Coach Nords, all the way from Cordillera, you're here. Magandang hapon sa inyo. Decaf is 5 years in the making. So today, okay, is the beginning of our season 5. Okay, so after today, we're marking our journey to 5 years. So why is it important? Sabi po nila, marami pong kumpanya ang nagsasara on their first year of the first 3 years. So nakalagpas na po kami at ang kasunod po nun ay 5 years. So 1 year to go. Okay, at matatapos kami dun sa second season of a normal transition about business cycle. So magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Coach Nilo, okay, Director Mau is here. Coach Sean De Hoya is here. I'm sure Coach Steve is also here joining us. Okay, so Decaf Brewing Live is in partnership with Coach A Coaching Club, and most of the people hopping in right now are also part of Coach A Coaching Club. Okay, Coach A Coaching Club is a premier club for coaches and entrepreneurs, and our mission is to create massive impact by turning our talents into income and influencing the people in our chosen domain and territory through the platform of life coaching. Coach Glacy Villaruel, my guest last night in Coach Connect, is right now on floor. So sa lahat ng nasa floor, magandang hapon. Okay, good afternoon. So thank you for being here. Okay, my mother is also here. Magandang hapon. Okay, hello ma. Okay, di ba? Ngayon may live guest at nasa live talaga ako on floor. Okay, now, if you are joining me, hello, Coach Vicky. Coach PB is also here. Coach Master Coach Jasmine, Coach Marife is also here. So thank you so much for joining me live on this special episode. And today, okay, we're gonna take a little shift from the tradition of Brewing Live where you see your press mat. Today, I don't have a presentation material. So you will be seeing me face-to-face for the entire discussion. So it's just like attending the Kapihan night every Tuesday or the Coaching for the Soul every Thursday. But this is just gonna be 1 hour. So thank you so much for joining me for your lunch date. Okay, as I begin, this afternoon, I'd like also to invite you to be very intentional and join us in learning, okay? Learning in this episode about radical generosity. And so as we talk about radical generosity, I want you to hop in and I want you to comment in there below what comes to your mind when you hear the word radical. Okay, so like when you say you're radical, okay, and or like we're gonna do something radical, what comes to your mind? Okay, so yung mga tao sa floor, anong ibig sabihin ng radical? Okay, so pag narinig mong radical ka, or let's get something into radical mood, okay, or movement, what does it mean? Okay, so as we also progress, this is season 3 of Brewing Live, we are also intentionally inviting you to be part of the learn and earn while you give. So learn, okay, with all go as we go through all the discussion, learn as we share with you nuggets of wisdom, learn as we share with you things that we know can change and help you transform, okay, especially in this season of pandemic where a lot of opportunities is opening before you, and earn, okay, the wisdom, earn the opportunity to be transformed, earn the opportunity to be better, earn the opportunity to be the better version or the best version of yourself or the best version of yourself, because that's what God have created you to be. And okay, give, okay, generous giving, and that's exactly what I'm going to be sharing with you this afternoon. So okay, if you are one person and you have been thinking, how can I set myself up into living an abundant life, living from an overflow, today is a topic for you. Today's topic is for you. So hop in there, let me know. So thank you to all the greetings. Thank you for all of you celebrating our 4th year anniversary as a coaching hub. Thank you for those of you greeting us and praying with us and for us. So what comes to your mind when you hear the word radical? Okay, what does it mean to you when somebody tells you you're a radical person? Do you take it positively? Do you take it negatively? What is a radical person to you? What is a radical movement to you? What is a radical act to you? Okay? So, I can see some people saying, okay, Coach Nord, sabi niya, extreme. Okay? So, positive. Coach Candy, bakit positive? Okay, positive daw ang radical. Okay? So, Coach Tilo said, extreme. Okay, so, oftentimes, okay, you hear, okay, that the Word of God commands us to give. Okay, and so that we will receive. Okay, they also say that if you want to have something, give more of that and you will receive it. Another thing is that you can test God on your giving. And there's a lot of scriptures that you can refer as much as you talk about giving. But my question to you is, why do you think it is difficult, it is challenging, it is hard to give? Why is it always as if, okay, we think twice, thrice, okay, or more when it comes to giving? Why is giving not something that is automatic to us? And that is something that I want to share with you this afternoon. Why? Because Decaf Coffee Republic is a product of generous giving. It's a product of generous giving of people, generous giving of young entrepreneurs, generous giving of builders, generous giving of a lot of people who believe in our cause and supported us in the journey. So I believe that there's no better way to honor them today, okay, but to share with you what is it behind Decaf Coffee Republic, that if you are an entrepreneur right now or you are thinking to be an entrepreneur, I believe what I will be sharing with you this afternoon is something that is worth something that you need, is worth something that you need to input and to be part of your planning for your business. Okay, so okay, thank you for tagging your friends. Okay, so we will be talking about generous giving, radical giving, so that you can set yourself up to live from the overflow. Okay, so if you can think of any verse, any quotation, any popular saying about giving, would you like to type in the chat box below? Let me know what is your favorite quotation, what is your favorite verse, what is your favorite scripture when it comes to giving. Okay, meron ba? Okay, so share with us. Okay, what comes to your mind? Okay, when you say like, okay, giving. Okay, what do you have in there when you talk about giving? Okay, so we are now setting the parameters of the terminologies that we are gonna be talking about this afternoon. Okay, so let me go back first to radical. Okay, radical is from the 14th century word radicalis. And the root word of that is radix or radic. And do you know, okay, did you know that the meaning of radix or radic is root? Root. So if you talk about radical right now in our lingo, in our contemporary setting, when we hear the word radical, it talks about being extremist, okay? Like going on a direction that never been done. Okay, like you are a pioneer, you're doing it for the first time, and it's so radical. And you may want to connect it with the root word, its root word that is really root. Okay, radix or radic, it means root. So when you take a radical movement, when you take a radical stand, it means that you are taking a pioneering stand. So yes, Coach Candy, you are right that radical is actually a positive term. Okay, so you are setting up something that's never been. Okay, so it's relating to a root, it's relating to something that can come out as a foundation. That's why when you talk about generosity, it's important that you understand what it means to be on a radical generosity. What it means when you say radical generosity. A lot of people miss this point in terms of giving. So today, that's going to be what I'm going to be sharing with you. So take note that when you talk about radical, you are talking about the roots. You are talking about that the action that is setting the roots, the foundation of what is it that you're doing. So today we're talking about the radical generosity, the roots of your generosity, and how this can set you up for success, how it can set you up to live a life of abundance, how it can set you up to live a life that is coming from an overflow. So are you ready? Okay, are you ready? Yes? Who's ready? Let me know in the chat box if you are ready. Let me know also in the chat box if you are ready with your giving verses. Okay? Could you share with us what are your favorite verses on giving? Yes? Okay? Ano yung mga paborito nyong sinasabi pag humihingi kayo ng pera? Sabi nila, hindi po humihingi ng pera. When you encourage people to share, when you encourage people, you know, you give, either you're giving an alms, nagbibigay po tayo ng limos, you give when you want to share, you give when you want to make an offering, you give when you want to give out of grace, you give when you want to give a love gift. So there's a lot of giving, there's a lot of forms of giving, and you can refer back to the Bible, but today I want to go to the core of giving, because a lot of people gives, but they don't get the benefit of giving. And I believe, may gumagano si Coach Candy dito sa floor. Di ba, Coach Candy? Bakit ganon? Bigay ako ng bigay, okay? So, who among you here can connect? Bakit ang dami ko ng binigay, walang bumalik? If you are connecting, please write in the chat box below, I am connecting. Okay? Bakit bigay ako ng bigay, walang bumabalik? Bakit tanim ako ng tanim, wala naman ako nakikita? Okay, so we're gonna go to the foundation today, okay? Because exactly radical generosity is the backdrop and the very reason why DCAP is existing. So to all the people who've been part of the build-up of DCAP, to those of you who's been generous in your giving, maraming salamat po. And this episode is a tribute, and this episode is in honor of you. You're too many to mention, but I'm sure you know it. You've been part of our journey. You may not be here celebrating with us physically, but I'd like to honor you. No matter how small, how big, your heart has been big. Your heart was big at a certain season of your life, and you have given generously to Decaf Coffee Republic. That's why Decaf Coffee Republic turned 4 this year. Exactly today. So maraming salamat. This episode is for you. Okay, let me share with you a couple of verses that may be your favorite. Okay, so Coach Steve De Hoya, hello, shared here, Luke 21:4, all these people gave the gifts out of their wealth, but she out of her poverty put in all she had to live. So this is the giving, okay, this is the copper coin, giving of the woman, okay, went to the temple at nagbigay ng tumataginting, o di ba? Tumutunog kasi nga copper code yun nilagay niya dyan. Okay, so let me share with you a couple of verses on giving. And if you can connect, let me know if this is something that's your favorite and you've been hearing. Okay, so sabi dito, Corinthians, 2 Corinthians 9:7. Ito yung sinasabi. Each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. So, ibig din pong sabihin, when you give, you're supposed to be cheerful. Sabi po dito. In 2 Corinthians 8:12, for if the willingness is there, the gift is acceptable according to what one has, not according to what one does not have. It means, what do you have? So it means that you can give according to what you have. Now, this is where many people would say, ito nga lang yung pera ko, kulang pa sa akin. So, anong ibibigay ko? That's where I want to talk to you about radical generosity. Because when it comes to giving, ang nakikita lang po natin madalas is money. Okay? So, in this verse, it says, okay, give according to what you have. So it means that if you look at your life today, it's not only the physical money that you have. There's a lot of things that you have today that maybe, just maybe, you are not radical enough or you're not generous enough. So that's what we're going to be talking about as well. Next, okay, my favorite, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard of this, and this could be your favorite. It says here, Malachi 3:10, bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Test me in this, okay? So ito yung paborito natin because it says, test me on this. Imagine God saying, test me on this. In the whole book, in the whole scripture, from Genesis to Revelation, this is the only time that God gave us the permission to test Him. God said, test me on this and see if I will not open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be enough room to store it. So how many of you wants to live a life where there is so much overflow from heaven at wala ka nang mapaglagyan? Like there's so much overflow and you don't know where to put the overflow, the blessing that you are receiving in your life. Now, this particular verse about money, about giving, is my favorite, one of my favorites, because it talks about this. When it comes to money, there are two things that I strongly believe about money. Number one, money is a tool. Number two, money is a test. Okay? So imagine if you can think of money as a tool, as one of the resources that is given to you. It means money have a purpose. And the other side of it, money is a test. It's gonna be testing you in terms of your character, in terms of your stewardship, in terms of how do you see the world, how do you see eternity, how do you see yourself, how do you see the kind of life you live. Because we've seen a lot of people who've got a lot of money and yet they cannot give. So it means that the way they look at their life, it's still not coming from the overflow. So put it there, money is a resources, money is a tool, and money is also a test. So in your life today, where are you? Is money a tool or money testing you? Testing your patience because you don't have enough money in terms of your needs. Is money testing you in terms of your capacity to love? It means there are people who needs that resources but you don't want to give it. Is money testing you in terms of your relationship with God? Nagagalit ka na kay God kasi feeling mo kulang yung pera mo. Eh bakit yung mga masasamang tao, ang dami nilang pera? Eh parang ikaw naman, ang bait-bait mo, wala kang pera. If you are connecting, sabihin mo lang sa akin, connecting! Okay, so, it's okay. This is a safe space. So you can express. Is that something that you are feeling? Remember, God never gets intimidated with the way we think, the way we feel. And so I'd like to hear what is it that you are thinking about money. Are you using money right now to get what you want? Okay. Are you using money right now to like live the life that you want, or money is testing you, okay, right now in terms of priorities. Hindi ka na makapagdasal, hindi ka makapag-quiet time kasi wala kang pera. You can't enjoy friendship. You can't enjoy relationship kasi feeling mo wala kang pera. So is it money as a tool, money as a resource right now, a resource material for you, or money as a test? Nasaan ka ngayon? Okay? Next, okay. Another thing, okay, another favorite verse, another favorite quotation, okay, favorite scripture in giving is, um, you will be enriched in every way so that you can be generous on every occasion, and through your generosity it will result in thanksgiving to God. That's taken from 2 Corinthians 9:11. Okay, another thing is, a gift opens the way and ushers the giver into the presence of the great. So it means that when you give, okay, there is something that's being opened, that there, you are being ushered to something that is great. Okay, now another favorite of mine is Luke 6:38. This is beautiful. Give, and it will be given to you. Oh, imagine that. A good measure pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure, eto yung masakit. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Luke 6:38. So I would remember one of our pastors, nung kinuwento niya to, sabi niya, so kapag nagbigay daw po kayo ng kutsarita din ang marireceive mo. Pag nagbigay ka daw ng pala-pala din daw yung marireceive mo. So how many of you can correct? Hello, Master Coach Jasmine? Okay, Master Coach Jasmine is now on floor. Okay, and I think Reb is here. Tama ba? Okay, so may pastor sa floor. Okay, so dapat magaling. Oo, puro scripture kaya. Okay, next. Ito na, okay. A tithe of everything. Ito yung ayaw natin di ba? A tithe of everything from the land, whether grain from the soil or fruit from the trees, belongs to the Lord. It is holy to the Lord. That's from Leviticus 27:30. Okay? 2 Chronicles 31:12, God's people faithfully brought the contribution, tithes, and dedicated gifts. So, alam nyo, hindi po tayo matatapos. Pag tinignan po natin from Genesis to Revelations, marami po tayong makikitang verses, marami po tayong scriptures na makikita at pwedeng pag-aralan when it comes to giving. But again, we go back to the same question, why is it difficult to give? Ano po ba yung nakabara sa mga puso natin? Bakit hindi po tayo makapagbigay? And why is it at a certain point in time, we start to question our giving because as if we are not receiving what we are giving. Okay, so I'm going to share with you a couple of things and then I'm going to dive into the radical generosity. So, number one, okay, one of the things that I learned about giving is this, okay? God would always talk about the sowing and reaping, okay? The agricultural principle. So, put it in context. Who among you here would try, okay, na magtanim sa semento? Okay? So, sowing and reaping, when you talk about sowing and reaping, you're talking about sowing in a land, in a fertile land. However, how many of us is guilty, okay, have experienced in the past that we give to a barren land? We give to a cemented property. What does it mean? Instead of giving our resources to a fertile soil that can be nurtured, that will nurture another offspring, we tend to give to a cause, to a person, that it will be a dead end on giving. For example, okay, how many times you have given to someone that instead of that giving result to thanksgiving to God, it happens that you cripple that person and that person hindi na nagtrabaho, hindi naghanap ng kabuhayan, and worse, okay, instead of them giving thanks to God, you become God in their lives. Ang nangyari po, instead of when they need something, they pray to God, they ask from God, they surrender to God, they will go to you. Okay? And it turns out, you become the God in their lives. So, hindi na nila kailangan si God kasi kayo na po ang nagbigay. So, that is one of example of a variant giving. Okay? Para po tayo nagtanim sa simento. Another thing is, we give to people who we know that the money they will use not of good purpose. Alam po natin hindi maganda yung pupuntahan ng pera na pinaghirapan natin. So, where are you sowing? So, that's so basic. But there are also people that will say, Coach, nagbibigay ako. Okay, nagbibigay ako at nakapagpatapos na ako ng nagpapaaral ako ng mga tao, may binigay ako sa charity and all. Why am I not getting the result? Why am I not seeing the result? Then, maybe you may want to take a look at the radical generosity. Okay, so again, radical generosity speaks of the roots of your generosity. Where is your generosity anchored? Where is your generosity rooted? Okay, so I'm going to speak of 4 things right now that maybe, just maybe, will open your eyes and soften your heart and start to see where you can improve, where you can do some recalibrations, and where you can allow the floodgates of heavens, okay, where is it flowing? Sometimes it's flowing, but it's not getting to us, okay? And before I forget, another beautiful picture about giving that maybe you can think of is that when you are like, nakakita na po kayo ng gripo, di ba? Nakakita na po kayo ng faucet. Tama? So, imagine a cup. Imagine a cup at nilagay po ninyo to sa faucet, yung nakabukas yung faucet, anong mangyayari sa cup? Mapupuno yung cup. Tama po ba? But if your cup have holes, kahit po gaano kalakas yung tubig, hindi siya mapupuno kasi may butas siya. Another thing is that kahit naman po patak-patak ng tubig, pag wala pong butas yung cup, mapupuno siya. Okay? And then again, you will tell me, walang butas yung buhay ko, Coach. Maayos ang buhay ko, wala akong inaagrabyadong tao, nagbibigay ako, but still, I am not getting the abundance. I am not experiencing it. If you are that one person and you would like to share with us, okay, and you would like, you can be vulnerable and say, Coach, I am connecting and that is also my question. I would truly appreciate that, okay? So let me know in the chat box if that is your question. It feels like hindi tumutugma lahat ng pinag-aralan mo at lahat ng nabasa mong quotation o lahat ng nabasa mong scripture about giving. Sinunod mo na lahat, pero feeling mo, it's not enough. If you are one person and you are connecting, okay, I am not saying naghihirap ka, okay, but what I'm saying is you're feeling it's not connecting. Parang may gap, okay? So this is what I give, and sabi mo, okay, the more I give, the more I receive, okay? The measure I use in my giving is the measure I will receive. But it's not the same. I'm giving more, I'm receiving less. Okay, so let's dive into radical generosity. Radical generosity is the roots of your generosity. Now, 4 things. Number 1, okay, generosity, just like any other things in life, is created twice. First, in your thoughts. Second, in your mouth. So the first root of your generosity is your thoughts. So, check your thoughts, check your mindsets, check your ways of thinking about generosity, about giving. Okay? So, you can give with a generous heart or you can give with a grumbling heart. Okay, so what is your mindset? Is your mindset, as long as I give, I'm okay? Is your mindset, nakapagbigay na ako, tapos na yung obligasyon? Or your mindset speaks of, in every way, I want to be generous. Okay. I am talking not only of money here. I am talking of the way you live your life. I'm talking about lifestyle. When you go to a place, do you give generously? Do you want to be a blessing? Or it's always you wanting to be blessed? When you join an organization, when you join an activity, when you join a company, when you join a church, wherever it is your mindset coming from a posture of generosity that you want people to experience generosity at its finest? It's a mindset. Oftentimes, we give because we know we have to give. We give because it's under compulsion. We give because we have. We give because it's comfortable. We give because it feels great. But if you want to create the kind of life that you are coming from the overflow, you are to come from a state wherein in your mind, in your thoughts, you are thinking, you are every single day, every opportunities that you have, you are coming from a posture of generosity. So think about your life today. Where are you being challenged to be generous? Where are you being challenged to be generous, not only in terms of money? How about in your relationship? Are you being generous about your time? Are you being generous about your attention? Are you being generous giving compliments? Are you being generous to give your smile? Are you being generous to give your compliments? Are you being generous to bless people even with the declarations of your words? So, your mindset, where do you need to recalibrate? Where do you need to improve that state of generosity in thoughts? It starts here. Okay? Are you being mindful that in everything that you do, you are to be generous? Next, things are also created with our mouths, with our words, with our declaration. So, as we said, it shall become. So, think about your words. Think about the words that you say. Think about the statement. Think about your declaration. Think about the way you communicate with people. Are you being generous in such a way that people, after talking with you, having a conversations with you, they feel lifted up? Or like after having a discussions with you, it feels like they have spoken with a vampire. Okay? There are people who feels like they're emotional vampires. After you speak with them, you feel drained, your energy is lost, you are emotionally burdened. So, like, think about what are the common things that you say. Do you grumble or do you bless? Do you grumble or you're grateful? Do you grumble or you give thanks in every way? When you look at things, okay, does your mind focus on what is great, what is good, what is beautiful? That's why you speak of what is good, what is beautiful, and what is uplifting, or what you are able to see is what is lacking. And immediately, that's the content of your heart, and therefore, that's also your utterance. Are you being generous in words? Are you generous in the way you use your mouth? Are you generous with declarations? Like, think about it. Last week, how many people you give thanks? How many people you give a compliment? How many people you said you look great? How many people you said you've done, an awesome job? How many people you recognize and verbally you express it? Have you been generous in your expression? Okay. Next, okay. On third, okay, generosity at heart. If you just check your heart right now, how expanded is your heart in terms of generosity or being generous? When you hear someone needing help, are you excited to give? Or in your mind, here we go again. I have little, I have nothing left for my family. I'm running out of budget and I need to give. So like check your heart. Are you looking for opportunity to bless people or you're running away from every opportunity to give? Where are you in this season of your life? Our hearts can be expanded. Our hearts can be stretched. Our hearts can grow bigger. How? That comes the fourth, our action. And what is action? Action is giving ourselves to generous act, to generous disposition, to generous service. It's different when you just give your service just because you give. It's different when you give it generously. It means that you're coming from an expression that you want to give more. It means that you're coming from a space where you want to serve more, you want to be a blessing more, and you want that space to feel more because you're there. So think about your thoughts, your words, your heart, your actions. In what areas, okay, do you need recalibrations right now? Where do you see generosity not firmly rooted? Where do you need to be radical in your being generous? Okay, so I want to encourage you to see that generosity is a holistic perspective. You cannot be generous in giving your tithes, you're giving your offering, and yet you are not generous in the way you serve people. You are not generous in the way you think about things, and you're not generous with your expressions. So where area of your life right now do you think you need to exert a little more effort so that you receive that heart of generosity, that value of generosity? Where are you being challenged right now? When you are challenged to give, when you are challenged to be a blessing, when you are challenged to give more, when you are challenged to partake, where is the struggle coming from? Is it coming from a posture of lack? Is it coming from a lack of understanding why you're supposed to give? Is it coming from you not experiencing it? Is it coming from you not having the faith? From whatever source, you're not experiencing the fullness of the power of giving. I'd like to encourage you and like to invite you to take a look at your radical generosity in thoughts, in words, in action, in heart. Can you do it in different order? It doesn't matter because those four things needs to be done for you to unlock that floodgates. It needs to unlock so that you start experiencing it in fullness. You experience there are people who have the overflow of cash, the overflow finances, but they cannot experience the joy. They cannot think that they are living in abundance. They're still living in a scarcity mindset. But there are people who barely have anything in terms of money, but they can give generously. You can check the Macedonians, okay? And that's one of my very, favorite story in terms of giving, that they will even have to plead to give. And they were giving out of their great need. So they were in need, but they were also giving. So just imagine what kind of heart these people from Macedonia have. So what about you? Where do you need to have some recalibrations? Okay. So if it is in the posture of your heart, so now I'll start with the heart. If it's the posture of your heart, I just want to encourage you or challenge you. How many things in your life right now is lacking? How many things in your life right now you feel it's not enough? Like, Lord, marami pang space. Marami pa akong gustong ma-receive in this area. Is it relationship? Is it opportunities? Is it physical bills? Like your heart, okay? So you may have a lot of finances right now. You may have a lot of money in the bank right now, but in your heart, you still want it. It's okay. Be honest. You don't have to write it here. Okay, just be sure you have it in your reflection. Okay, so have it in your pack my bag moment if you want to share it to other people. But like, really, where do you need that? Where do you see, where do you recognize that feeling of lack? Your heart, what is it What void are you looking for? Like, what void can you feel right now in your heart? Because whatever it is, I want to challenge you to give more of that. If you want attention, like if your heart is crying for attention, your heart is crying for affirmation, I encourage you, be generous. Give more attention. Give more affirmation. Give more compliment. Give more of that. If you are feeling that you have a lot of money, you have money in the bank, but you feel like it's still not enough, let me challenge you also. Be radical. Give radically. Like, be radical in your giving. Give more. If you are giving now, give more. Give more often. Give in higher value. Like, double it, triple it. Whatever it is that you're needing. Okay? Give more. Give more where you are feeling in your heart right now the void. Just like, be honest. Be it physical, like physical money, give more money. Be it love, give more love. Be it attention, give more attention. Be it approval, give more approval. Okay, let's start with your heart. Whatever it is that you feel lack, like you can feel the lack, and you're crying, God, this area of my life needs CPR. Okay? Or this portion of my life, this area of my life, I've been crying out to be filled to the full, to the brim and the overflow. I challenge you, start radical generosity. Put the roots firmly on the ground. Multiply it, duplicate it, like double it. Give more of what's missing. Give more of what's lacking. Okay? If it is about action, the works that you do, okay? What are the works that you despise to do? What are the things that you hate to do? What are the things that you're running away from? So connecting, yes. What are the things that you wish you don't have to do? Let me challenge you. Do more of that. Do more of that. Like, challenge your heart and say, heart, help me out with this, so that my body would respond. Now, do more of that. And as you do it, remember that you are sowing a seed for whatever it is that you want to have in your life. Do more. You know what happened? When you do more of the things that you despise, you will be able to flex your muscles. You will be able to exercise your physical muscles for the things that you despise, for the things that you're running away from. And eventually, you start seeing that these things are no longer a burden to you. And you will start to do it like a routine, like a normal process to you, and you will start doing it cheerfully. And when you are able to do it, you're going to be able to serve more people, and you're going to be able to bless more people. You know, as simple as washing dishes, as simple as cleaning the house, if you do more of that, you give joy to your parents, you give joy to your siblings, you give joy to your housemates. So do more, serve more, act more. So what about your mouth? What is it that you truly want to hear from people? What is it that you truly want, like the sweetest words that you want to hear said unto you? Imagine when you say, God bless you, what would the other person tell you? God bless you too. And so you get the blessing. That's so simple test. So what is it that you want to hear? You might be so focused with what you don't want to hear. So I challenge you, shift. Focus on what you want to hear and start saying that. Start saying that to other people. Start giving that to other people. Start declaring that. If you want people like acknowledging you, acknowledge more people. If you want if you want your spouse to be expressive in saying I love you, why don't you start giving more I love yous? Right? So whatever it is that you want to receive, you want to hear, I challenge you, say more of that. That's radical generosity. You are being generous. You are planting that seed generously because you don't understand that being radical is actually the roots. So whatever you sow, you reap. You sow sparingly, you reap sparingly. So generosity, radical generosity in everything is needed. And finally, this mindset, these thoughts of ours. What I want to ask you right now, put in the chat box below. What are the things that you struggle of in terms of giving? What are the things that you struggle of? Like, what are the mindsets that you think you need to recalibrate? What are the things that you think you need to shift? What are the mindset shift that needs to happen in your life, in your mind, so that you can give generously, you can give cheerfully, and you can start seeing things flowing into your life? My challenge to you is this, okay? If this is your mindset about giving, for example, I am under budget, okay? Challenge yourself. Okay, if you are under budget right now, if your money doubles, how much will you give? Because chances are, if you cannot give 10% of your 100, trust me, you will not also give 10% of your 1 million. If it is hard to give a percentage of a small amount, it will even more challenging to give a percentage of a bigger amount. So the bigger the amount, the harder it will become for you. So my challenge for you about your mindsets, write your mindsets right now about money, about giving, about being generous. And think about what if it happens. So if it's budget, what if you got a double of that? If you say, I'm not getting the refund, I'm not getting the return of that, I'm not getting the overflow. What if the overflow happens? What if you get the double, the triple? Who would you become in the process? Because all of these things, when you sum up the radical generosity, that's why it's a root. It's because it's not how much you will experience. It's not the overflow that you are going to be experiencing that truly matters, but who you will become in the process when you start experiencing the overflow. There are laws, there are principles that when you put in place, it will come to pass. And you will start experiencing the overflow. You will start experiencing the joy. You will start experiencing all of these things that you think you want. But the question is who you will become in the process. That's why it's important that when you talk about radical generosity, you are being clear, you are being mindful. What are the roots? What are the seeds? What are the seeds that you are planting? So what are the roots you are allowing to grow in your space? Because at the end of the day, what matters most is who you will become in the process. A lot of people struggle in giving, but truth of the matter, it is not the act of giving that they struggle about, but it is their faith. It is how they see the value of giving. And I believe if you are watching today, if you are listening, even on a replay, if you are one person who is a beneficiary, a recipient of grace, of someone who's generous enough, I believe you and I have a responsibility to let other people understand what is it in giving, the power of giving, the power that is in giving that will open the floodgates of heaven. It is also our responsibility to let other people know that in generosity, you will start thriving. And that generosity speaks of your mind, speaks of your tongue, your words, speak of your heart, speak of your action. You cannot be generous in one and not generous on the other. So you cannot give a lot of money, but you keep filthy words out of your mouth. You cannot give money and you refuse to serve. You say, I'm gonna give you money. I don't wanna serve. I don't wanna give you my time. You cannot serve and then your heart is grumbling. All of this will negate, will render the power powerless. You cannot release the power of giving if it's not in your heart, in your mind, in your tongue, in your action to be generous. That's why the Word of God said, be generous in every occasion. Because in being generous in every occasion, in every way, it becomes your lifestyle. Giving is a lifestyle, but I rather say generosity is the seed of your lifestyle. And if your lifestyle is not anchored very well, you will not like who you will become in the process. In everything that you do, be mindful because in everything, I believe whatever you sow, you will reap. Whatever you give, you will receive. And we are supposed to be not the disruptor of the process, but we are supposed to be the facilitator of the process. Freely we give, freely we receive. Freely we give, freely we receive. And we allow the whole process to continue because we understand that keeping a generous heart, a generous mind, generous tongue, and a generous hands to work will allow our space to be radically changed by the posture of generosity. If you learned something from me today, I encourage you to share your pack my bag moment in your timeline. Be generous. Give us your blessing. Bless Decaf Coffee Republic today. I would truly encourage you to give a part of your blessing, be it your presence, be it your order, or be it your love gift to my fellow speakers. Whatever you give, the Brewing Live will be shared to each and everyone who's been sharing their testimonies, been sharing their education, sharing with you their nuggets of wisdom, sharing with you their insights. And you can watch all the past episodes of Brewing Live from season 1 and now in season 3. We are preparing for season 4, and we truly believe that your heart has been really prepared to give. So thank you for being generous in terms of thoughts, in terms of words, in terms of your actions, but more than anything else, in terms of your heart continuously being stretched, being enlarged in the process. In behalf of Decaf Coffee Republic and Coach A Coaching Club, we want to thank you for being part of this journey. This is now on season 3. Thank you so much. Look forward to join us in season 4. We still have like 26, 27 days to go before we end the season. So thank you so much. Okay, Decaf Coffee Republic is located at Pioneer Center, commonly known as PC. This is along Pioneer Road, corner Brixton and United Streets, Capitolio, Pasig City. If you happens to be free today, we're here. If you happens to be free at any time, we're open until 9 p.m. We look forward seeing you on floor. Tomorrow, come back at 12 noon. It's gonna be Coach Saibel. She's gonna be talking about finding beauty in the brokenness. So be sure to check it out again tomorrow. So thank you so much. Remember to be generous. Labang boom. Okay, thank you everyone who's on floor. Be generous with your comments. Be generous with your giving. More than anything, stretch your heart with the spirit of generosity. Bye-bye, everyone. Labang